Right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. The college basketball season with the Gonzaga Bulldogs once again expected to, saw them expect to, when it began, they were expected to contend for the national championship. And, for good reason because you look at the Zags, they've participated in each NCAA tournament since 1999, while they've also made a pair of Final Fours since 2017. And the beginning of the season saw Gonzaga ranked 11th in the AP poll. They got up to number 7, but they had a tough go of it, in their non-conference slate of games. They lost 4 games, one to Connecticut and one to San Diego State. And you think about UConn and San Diego State; these were the 2 teams that played in the national championship game last April. Then losing to Purdue and losing to Syracuse, and of course, Purdue might end up being the number 1 overall seed in the upcoming NCAA tournament. So, of course, really no shame there. And but then you couple all of that with an early season West Coast Conference loss to Santa Clara, and there were some that wanted to write the Zags off. But, Mark Few and company, they've been able to once again right the ship. We've seen the Bulldogs win 12 out of their last 13, with their only loss coming over that stretch. It was a 2-point loss at home to St. Mary's, and included in this recent streak by Gonzaga, a road win over Kentucky. So Gonzaga has one more game to go in the regular season, the rematch tomorrow night with St. Mary's. It's a road contest, but you're looking at the Zags right now. They're 23-6. They're second in the West Coast Conference. And, there's going to be some people right now that are going to say that Gonzaga's a bubble team. But historically, Mark Few's teams tend to shine the best when you doubt them and write them off. And, you look at it. Gonzaga right now can really strengthen their NCAA tournament resume with a win tomorrow night over St. Mary's as they look to avenge that loss from earlier this season. And then right after that, the Zags go into the West Coast Conference tournament, which begins on Thursday. And it's one of those where, is Gonzaga a tournament team if they don't win the West Coast Conference tournament? For me, I'll tell you like this. If Gonzaga gets to the final and loses to St. Mary's, maybe. But you figure they got St. Mary's again tomorrow night. More than likely, to win the WCC tournament, the Zags are going to have to face St. Mary's a third time. If we're talking about a scenario where the Zags go 0-3 against the Gales, it's going to be very tough, and I'm going to lean on the category of probably not. But if you're talking about, clearly, if the Zags beat St. Mary's twice, over the next week, then that means Gonzaga would have won the West Coast Conference tournament. If they win tomorrow night and possibly get to the tournament final and lose to St. Mary's, if it's a close game, Gonzaga still has a chance. And it's one of those where you still got talent on this team. And I know Mark Few has sent his fair share of quality players to the NBA in recent years. But of course, what hurts Gonzaga, what hurts St. Mary's at times when they've missed the NCAA tournament. West Coast Conference is just not a strong league in comparison to the heavyweights of college basketball. We're going to see the Big 12 get easily 8 teams this year in the tournament, if not more. Same thing can be said for the SEC. The Mountain West is getting multiple bids this year. It's a struggle for the Pac-12 this year. In the last year of this Pac-12 as we know it, the ACC is kind of up and down, but they're going to get some bids. But nonetheless, the Zags need to go out there and take care of their business. They're right there. And again, Mark Few does have a talented team. When you look at the likes of Graham Ike and Anton Watson and Nolan Hickman and others, I think this Gonzaga team, they've weathered the storm. They've taken everybody's best punch all season long. But you know what? The Zags are still standing, and the Zags still have a good shot to win the to get to the NCAA tournament. I'll tell you like this: It was a close game last time around between the Zags and the Gales, and I think we're going to have another close outcome tomorrow night. But if the Zags can find a way to win that game, I think they're well on their way. Let's just see what happens tomorrow night in the rematch with St. Mary's, and of course next week in the WCC tournament. Excuse me. But nonetheless, it would be very surprising to see an NCAA tournament uh, be happening without the Zags. That's how consistent this program has been under head coach Mark Few. He's built one of the best programs in the nation in men's basketball, and I think the Zags definitely have what it takes to once again go dancing. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now, you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.